Hi, I just wanted to get on here real quick. My third attempt at this video because I keep messing it up, but hey, that's cool. Anyway, I promise this video won't be as long as the last one. I believe it was over 28 minutes. So I just wanted to get on here and see what everyone else is doing. If you, during this quarantine time, if you feel like commenting, just send a comment down below, and I will look at them. You may even get a reply. But I'm curious, it's really no different for me in being inside, since I've been inside since my hip replacement back on November 22nd. It was exactly 1 week before Thanksgiving, because I wanted to be able to have some relief during Thanksgiving. Unfortunately, I had a cat pass away on the holiday, so... But I love her, she's still in my heart, and I still have the memories. So anyway, but I've been finding things to do, because I can't get outside except for doctor's appointments and such, as the only person I have to help me get out the door right now is my dad, and he's going to be 69 years old here on April 2nd, and he has hip, back, knee, leg problems like the rest of the world, but he's the only one able to pull the wheelchair out yet, because I still need the other hip done and knees. I'm not 100%, but I will be one day. Trust me, when you tell me I can't do something, I'm stubborn enough, and I do. All a result of a car accident. But I digress. I enjoy keeping my hands busy. I have to. I have several different projects going on at the same time, because when I do have to go out, I have a small book bag. Well, not that small, but you know what I mean. I have a small book bag, and then I have a regular book bag. Depending on where I'm going and how long I'll be out for, I have different size projects. That's why. I've made scarves, hats, blankets, washcloths, dishcloths. I think I made a towel or two once, but those take a little more experience at, just because they do take up a lot of yarn, and the yarn you use for the dishcloths, washcloths, and towels, it's more expensive than regular yarn. Anyway, so I wanted to get on here and see what you guys are doing. I also have been singing, because music is a part of who I am. And but now I want to show you my one project I'm making. I've already made it, rather. I finished it on March 12th. Here's the border. You can see, if you can see, the the white row there is a single stitch. The pink row is double stitch. And then the green row is single stitch. I make up patterns usually as I go along, but I always make sure I kind of put like a fan in my pattern. I do at least one row. That's a fan. What I do is I start 5 regular double stitches, then I skip a space, do 3 in one space, and skip another space, do 5, and continue on. That way the number of stitches on the row won't mess up. They'll be equal. Otherwise, you'll end up like hips on the edges of your projects. Remember that first scarf I made for you, Mom?
Yes.
See? You can see her. She didn't go outside today, so she's not proper, as she says. But it was a fun project. I mean, I like to make those long scarves that when you wrap around, they still hang long. And you could wrap hers around 2 or 3 or 4 times and it would still hang to the floor. So I've learned since then. That was back when I was still up at Edinburgh 13, 14 years ago. Oh, dear Lord, I've been gone that long, Mom. Wow. Anyway. So if you might have seen the beginnings of a smaller project here. Let me get that out there. I haven't quite weaved the ends in yet. I usually wait till I'm done to do that. But that's for a mini version of the larger blanket I have on. Here. I only have it on to show you guys. Anyway, but that smaller one is for the great-granddaughter of the lady I made the bigger one for. Now, I won't tell you who it is. It's for a friend I've known forever, since literally probably before I was born. And I thought it'd be really cool if her great-granddaughter had the exact same one, but a miniature version. Like, I won't even change the pattern on the smaller one. It has to be completely identical, except for the size, obviously. So, but if you know who it is, I don't have any followers yet, I don't think, because I haven't posted it anywhere. I've said about it because I wanted to have a little more than a couple videos before I started, because I want you to have some content instead of just one video to watch when you first go on. So anyway, but then I have this ball of yarn. I have another scarf, but I took this ball of yarn off that scarf. It's purple ombre. And I added it to the beginning of another. This is what I'm doing now. You can see it's all going to be double stitch. Usually in scarves, I don't do as many of the fan row patterns as I do for the blankets. I usually will only put 1, 2, maybe 3 in the whole scarf. Just because of the shorter distance going back and forth across, it really gets too much. It's just too much to do. So, because the scarves are way less, like the blankets are way wider than the scarves, obviously. But anyway, that's what I'm doing. Might make a video later. This week's been really weird. My mom's birthday was Monday, the 16th. Also that night, something else happened, but I didn't find out till the next day that a friend of mine from high school passed away. I have a pretty good idea how, but it hasn't been confirmed yet. And it's sad. I was really rooting for her, but you don't speak ill of the dead, and I would never do that. Never. No matter who it was. But I do kind of miss her. She left behind some family and a 7-year-old son, so I hope they can make it through. Especially they got that on top of the crisis pandemic stuff we're going through to worry about as well. And I don't know if they're going to be able to have a funeral for her, not because of that, but, you know, they can be so expensive. And then a few days later, we got the call that my great aunt passed away. She was the matriarch. By matriarch, I mean literally. She was the last of that generation. Not just of her siblings, because they all passed before her, but she was the last of the generation completely, of even my side, because her husband was my great uncle, my grandma's brother, paternal grandmother's brother, and Uncle Lester. Oh, did I love that man. He's the first one that actually told me about our family history. There was always a story that I thought my great-grandmother had snuck on a ship from Wales when she was 6 years old. And I used that as part of a story. We had to write a story in 6th grade, Mrs. Stanizak's class. 6th grade Norvelt. I don't remember the year. Somewhere around 96. Somewhere. It was 96 and 97. Something like that. Yeah, it was 95, 96. I don't remember. It was somewhere around 96. But I had the carpenter's flower. We had to write a story on how this flower came to be. We each were given a flower, and mine was the carpenter's flower. I was like, hey, my dad's a carpenter. Which, even to this day, I believe carpet layers should still be called carpenters. People that do construction, they're called carpenters too. No, they're construction workers. Yeah, my dad laid carpet for most of my life, so that's probably why I think that. But anyway, we had to use some truth of our family into the story. And I forget all the other directions, but being raised an only child, you have a lot of time to develop a creative mind, and boy, do I ever, don't I, Mother?
Yes.
I think you can hear her.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I would turn the phone to her now, but she would kill me if I did.
Yes, I would.
See? Anyway, I had fun. I recorded myself on it once. And they, I even forget what grade I got on it, but I had fun writing it. So, at my aunt's 50th birthday party, gosh, that was like 70, no, not 70, dear Lord, I'm not that old, 20 some years ago. And we were at her house, and I saw my great uncle Lester, and I said, "Hey, guess what I did? I used this," and it was his mom. He would know the story, so I thought he would enjoy hearing it. He goes, "Oh, that's cool," but he says, "That's really not the right way. Here's how it happened," and I thought, "Oh, cool." And he said, for more specific information, he said, go see Dwayne, which is my dad's cousin, Uncle Lester's other nephew. Dwayne is the oldest. He's 21 years older than my dad. He'll be celebrating his 90th birthday in May. And my dad's only 69. Or gonna be 69. So like, what, 21 years and a couple months they're apart. And I have a picture of them at Aunt Mary's 100th birthday party 2 years ago, that they're both looking at each other, laughing, telling a story. It's like, it should be in a magazine, this picture, shouldn't it, Mom? Remember that picture of them sitting across the table from each other?
It's perfect.
It is perfect. I'll have to show it to you I have to show you guys so many times. I should start writing this stuff down where I say I'm going to show you. Anyway, but ever since then, that was in 6th grade, and Dwayne has told me the right stuff. I mean, Uncle Lester guided me, but he's like, hey, Dwayne has the resources, the papers, and pictures and stuff. So from there, I went to Dwayne, and that just developed into a whole bunch. I used it for my graduation project. And then my first year in college, Dr. Armendia P. Dixon at Edinburgh University of Pennsylvania, I had a writing and research English class under her. Best teacher. I could go on a tangent about how I might do a video once. Remember that, Mom? I'm going to do a video about her class and what a great teacher she was.
Yes, you speak very highly of her.
See? Always will.
Yes.
Where respect is deserved, respect will be given, but we should really give respect. Otherwise, I know that's a hot topic button issue, but when someone really deserves respect, you should give them the respect. Oh. Well, I told you not to take ibuprofen for that COVID stuff.
Well, I don't have that
Anyway, so Mom just showed me an article she was reading on her phone, so that's what that little thing was. Anyway, so back to this family history thing. I wanted to just basically cheat and use my senior graduation project as for this project we were supposed to do. Well, I went a little deeper. She's a smart woman. I think she knew what I was planning to do. Good, Dr. Dixon. You knew how to get it out of me. She actually said I should have been an English major, and I proceeded to laugh and say, have you seen my grammar? Because where I went to school, I don't remember teaching. I'm sure they taught it somehow, because I don't think I would have graduated and gotten this far in the world without talking proper grammar. Who knows? But I didn't think I could be a good writer without having proper grammar, and I didn't think I did. But I was a music major, and it was one of the prerequisite classes. I don't know what it was, but anyway, I loved her class, and she only charged me a late grade once, even though you were supposed to lose 5 to 10 points for each time you didn't turn it per day. And I think I turned it in late once, 3 days late, and she only charged me, I think, 10 points when it was supposed to be like anywhere from 15 to 30 points off. But she knew I put my whole heart into writing, and I did not feel right about turning in a project that didn't seem right, just to be on time. Like, I didn't feel I should turn it in unless it was finished. And I think she knew that. It was with any project. So when it came down to do our final writing and research project, I wanted to use this, and she goes, no, I want you to do this, this, and this. So I ended up writing the story out. I did use what I did have, but I had to expand on it. And she really smart. She knew how to get me to do it. I didn't think I could do any more on that. But that was only 7 years after I'd started. That was in the spring of 2003, and here we are, the spring of 2020. See, I have a good memory. Right, Mother?
Yes, you do. Very good.
See, one of these days I'll get her on the video. I just don't feel like being killed right now. She's giving me the eye, too. Anyway, so I turned it in. I think I did get an A on it. I don't think I only got A's and B's in her class. I think I actually did get an A, maybe even an A+ on that one. She did send it back to us because we didn't get it back till after the semester ended. She mailed it to each individual home of her student. I still have them. I think we still have that Jonathan Livingston Seagull mug somewhere in the house. Do we, Mom? Yeah, she's shaking her head, yes. I'll have to write that in the letter, because I wrote her a letter once, and when I went up to Erie, Edinburgh, I drove back down to Meadville, which is only 20 minutes south of there, and I got to have dinner with her, and that was about 7 years ago, and I decided to look her up recently, and she was still around, thankfully, because I want to get myself healed so I can go up and see her. She's still active, still working. Maybe one day she'll see this video. I do speak highly of her. Can't speak any other way. Really. She really taught, and I didn't think I could write, but I do write songs. That's another thing I'm doing during this quarantine thing. I'm writing songs. Just parodies, really. I wrote a parody to the gospel song God Delivers Again. I'm almost done about this virus stuff. Maybe I'll sing it soon. Who knows? But I'm still working on my crochet projects, and then, but anyway, so back to Aunt Mary. She passed away last Thursday, I believe. She was born in 1917. She was about almost 2 months shy, a little over 2 months shy of celebrating her 103rd birthday. So I don't know what they're going to do. I have two quite thoughts, but this isn't the time or place to say them. So I may just do my own little memorial thing on here. Maybe later today, maybe later this week. I want to plan it out because she deserves it, right? Even if no one ever sees it, it's in my book. I want to do it for her. I'll probably sing In the Garden. I love that song. It's like the family hymn. Every time someone passes away, they sing it at their funeral. I think there was even one wedding where they sang it at. I don't remember whose it was, but it started back in 95 when my grandmother died, my dad's mom, and my Uncle Jim read the words to it during her eulogy. Dad looked at each other. Oh, that's our favorite hymn. I still remember. Dad was sitting on my right. We were sitting in Macaulay's funeral home in Youngwood, Pennsylvania during the service, and when Uncle Jim gave the eulogy, I just remember turning to Dad like this. Hey, Dad. Yeah. So there is another memory I have. So I don't know why or how I have this type of memory. Maybe because I am an only child. I don't know. But it's fun. Because I love surprising people with fun facts. You should see me on Jeopardy. Mom, every time so often, will give me the eye. Like, how do you know that? Right, Mom? Say yes or no.
Yes.
Okay. I would show the video when she shakes her head or gives me a look. But, again, I don't feel like being killed because she would yell at me. So I don't know, and I'm trying to write a poem for Aunt Mary, even though it may not go anywhere. It's still for me because I like to be creative. It gets the creative juices out. My dad's gonna call his cousin, which is one of Aunt Mary's boys, and see what they're doing, or at least to give condolences, because we haven't been able to call yet. But that just brings up a subject that when family members pass away, and you're not supposed to have any groups of more than 10. They said you had 20. I was watching the press conference the other day. 25, they said there's really no difference between 25 and 10. Now, of course, there's different thoughts on that too, but I feel bad for these people that have funerals. And she didn't even pass away from this virus stuff. She was just of an older age. And it was really surprising because she had just, as far as we know, she had just now started to lose her hearing. You know, the old Bible adage, what is it, Mom, about you obey your parents? And you'll live long, something or other?
So that your days may be long upon the earth.
Yeah, obey your parents so that your days may be long upon the earth. You can talk to Elvis, Mom. He wants you. That's my cat. Albie. Elvis, say hi to everybody. Hi. Did you hear my mom say, don't you dare? I couldn't even tell if he got on. But that's why I went to the side of the chair, Mom. And not you. Anyway, so yeah, and then I was thinking about that the last couple days since I heard my great aunt had passed, and they went to oh gosh, this video is 20 minutes already. They had on the news about the veterans funerals, that there's not going to be any honor guard, and they're only limited to immediate family members of no more than 10. And I don't care with this virus stuff, because you should pray for healing. But what makes me angry is those veterans fought for our country. And just because this virus comes around, they can't have their honor guard. Sorry, that's my cat in heat. Just because these veterans die and they can't have their honor guard, that made me so angry this morning, because they deserve that at the very least. I mean, in one way I can understand, because of the virus spreading. Most of those honor guard men are older. But the thing is, they're so far away from the crowd. I mean, I don't want to say we've all been to, because I can't speak for everybody, but I've been to several funerals. In fact, the end of October, a lady from our church, her dad died, and they did the honor guard. And I didn't know it till later that they held it up for me to get there under the tent, because it was a large crowd. I was in the wheelchair at that time. It was a month before my surgery, and I thought that was nice. That was really touching, and I appreciated that. But they didn't have to. They didn't have to wait for me to start the funeral. But as the wheelchair, the paved pathway through the graveyard, my dad was trying to wheel me on, and the cars were parked down there, so we didn't have much room for the wheelchair. The one wheel went off the side of the pavement and got stuck, and you had like 3 men come up from the funeral home. I felt like, I don't know what I can't remember the word I used that I felt like, but I just wanted to hide my face. I mean, we couldn't do it. It's just an accident. We couldn't do anything about it. It was done. People helped. We got down there. But upon upon them wheeling me down, I looked over at the honor guard, and one of them is my dad's cousin Dwayne that I had spoken of previously. And I waved at him, he smiled, because he knows, and he seen my dad there. I didn't get to talk to him, because once they're done doing what they do, they pack up and they leave. They do look for the shells. I didn't realize this at first. They look for the shells once they're shot out, and they give them to the family members. They don't put any in the casket, I believe, unless they do it after the person leaves. People leave. But they do put it in the flag, and then they give the flag, they put 3 in the flag. I forget what the symbol means. So maybe I'll have to ask Dwayne, or even ask Dana what that means, Mom, those 3 shells.
Ask Dana, he would know.
Yeah, I'd probably easier getting hold of Dana, because my cousin Dwayne is so busy. He is a member of the Armed Burst Vets.
Dana's awesome too.
And Dana's awesome. He's military, former prison guard, good guitar musician. He used to play guitar in church. Basically like a second dad to me. I don't want to cry thinking about it. But anyway, it just, thinking about the honor guard, those veterans deserve it. I mean, even if they do limit the size of the crowd at the funeral, to only 10, they should still have the honor guard. And Mom, yes, I am going on, because this is what video blogs do.
Okay.
So, like I said, this channel is going to be partly blog, partly performance stuff. And frustrations. Because, I mean, we're all stuck in the house at this point. So you guys know what I've been doing now you can experience what I've been doing the last 3 months. Going on 4 months now. I don't know, I've lost count. Anyway, but I just think they should at least keep the honor guard. They deserve it. So maybe I'll do something. See, the more I talk, the more I get ideas for things. Like I said about doing that memorial for my Aunt Mary on here. Doing something to honor our veterans that pass away, that don't get to have their honor guard. I don't know what I could do for that, but maybe do a little memorial for them too. My grandfather was a veteran. He passed away a month and 22 days before I was born. His name was Emery Richard Myers. I would like to serve. I mean, he was an older one with the people he served. If he was alive now, he served in World War II. He was a mechanic in the Army. And his picture is hanging up at Leo's Grill 31 here in Mount Pleasant. So if you ever do go in there, check it out. Ask to see the guy sitting on a motorcycle. And I say that because mostly everyone is official portraits and stuff. He is the only picture in there that the guy is sitting on a motorcycle. It was when he was stationed in Italy in July of 1942. Hi, Charlotte. You coming in? She's looking for a boyfriend. So anyway, yeah, but he died a month 22 days before I was born, and I was the only grandchild he never got to see. So he always holds a special place in my heart. Anyway, I don't know what else I could say on here, but since my cat has decided to voice her opinion on things. Anyway, I do like making these videos. I'll be making more, maybe another one later, maybe one in a couple days. Just to get on frustrations, thoughts, whatnot. Show what I've been doing. Maybe I'll be have more of that scarf done. Maybe I'll have the mini blanket done, partial done. I don't know. But I also do adult coloring. Maybe I'll show you some of those I've been working on. So I will talk to you later. It's 26 minutes and 30 some odd seconds now. My last video was over 28 minutes. And my mom just showed me a picture. And so I got to end this soon because I did promise it wouldn't be over 28 minutes. So take care and I'll get you soon. Love y'all. Bye.